Have you ever had something important to do, but you kept putting it off? Maybe it was studying for an exam, starting a workout, reading a book, learning a skill, or working on a dream you've been thinking about for months. You told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." Then tomorrow came, and you said the same thing again. If you've ever felt that way, today's story is for you. And before we begin, I'm really glad you're here. Whether you're listening while studying, relaxing, walking, or taking a break from your day, thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Here at Stories with Hope, we share stories and lessons that help us grow, improve, and become better versions of ourselves. And today's lesson is one of the simplest and most powerful things I've ever learned. A lesson that completely changed the way I approached difficult tasks. For a long time, I thought my problem was laziness. Whenever I delayed something important, I blamed myself. I thought I needed more discipline, more motivation, more willpower. But one day, I realized something. The problem wasn't the task. The problem was starting. Imagine standing at the bottom of a mountain. You look up. The mountain is huge. The climb looks impossible. And suddenly, your mind starts making excuses. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not ready. This is too much. But what if someone told you that you didn't need to climb the whole mountain today? What if all you had to do was take one step? Just one. That was the idea behind the 5-minute rule. The rule is simple. Whenever you don't feel like doing something, promise yourself you'll do it for just 5 minutes. Not an hour. Not 30 minutes. Just 5. 5 minutes of studying. 5 minutes of exercise. 5 minutes of writing. 5 minutes of cleaning. 5 minutes of learning. That's it. At first, it sounded too simple to work. How could 5 minutes change anything? But then I decided to try it. One day, I didn't feel like studying. Instead of forcing myself to study for 2 hours, I told myself, just do 5 minutes. And something interesting happened. Once I started, continuing became easier. 5 minutes turned into 15. 15 turned into 30. And before I knew it, I had finished most of my work. That's when I learned a lesson I'll never forget. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Most of us wait to feel motivated before we begin, but motivation often comes after we start. Imagine pushing a car. The hardest part isn't keeping it moving. The hardest part is getting it moving in the first place. Once the wheels begin to turn, everything becomes easier. The same thing happens with our goals. Starting is usually the hardest part. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this story and you'd like more videos like this, consider subscribing and turning on the bell. I create these stories for people who want to grow, improve, and become a little stronger every day. And I wouldn't want you to miss a future story that might be exactly what you need to hear. Now let's continue. The more I used the 5-minute rule, the more my life began to change. I started reading more books. I exercised more consistently. I stopped delaying important tasks. And the best part was that I no longer felt overwhelmed, because I wasn't focusing on the entire journey. I was focusing on the next 5 minutes. Think about planting a seed. When you plant it, you don't expect a tree the next morning. You water it, you care for it, and you trust the process. Small actions repeated every day eventually become something extraordinary. That's how habits are built. That's how confidence grows. That's how goals are achieved. One small step at a time. Many people fail because they're trying to change their entire life in one day. But lasting change rarely happens that way. Imagine trying to read an entire library in one night. It's impossible. But reading a few pages every day? That can change your life. The same principle applies to almost everything. Success is often hidden inside small actions that seem insignificant at the moment. One workout, one page, one lesson, one practice session, one 5-minute effort. Over time, those small actions create results that once seemed impossible. Today, whenever I feel overwhelmed by a task, I don't ask myself, can I do this for hours? Instead, I ask, can I do this for 5 minutes? And almost every time, the answer is yes. Maybe that's the reminder you need today. You don't have to finish everything today. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to feel motivated. You just have to start. 5 minutes. One small step. One small action. Because small actions repeated consistently are far more powerful than big plans that never begin. Before you go, I have a question for you. What's one thing you've been putting off lately? Studying? Exercise? Reading? Learning a skill? Tell me in the comments. I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. And maybe today can be the day you give that goal just 5 minutes. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Thank you for being part of Stories with Hope. You're always welcome here. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning. And remember, big changes often begin with very small steps. See you in the next story.